Welcome to Knitix world. I am doing my little morning walk around the neighborhood because my two boys got into fighting about cereal, which now I'm European, so continental European, not British, but we do not eat cereal. I didn't grow up eating cereal. Didn't have it in the house for a long time. Started to buy maybe a year ago, occasionally on and off. And now we every single morning, when today is Martin Luther King Day, so every day when they're home in the morning, they get up at the same time, more or less. They start fighting over cereal. And now I'm just not going to buy it anymore. But I digress. Well, basically means I can't film in the house because there is this ongoing fighting and too much noise, so I'm filming here. What is happening with USPS priority mail? I had these two absolutely weird incidents happening within at least 48 hours, if not even 24 hours. The first one, this lady had bought a like a plate. It was a pewter plate, so it's not breakable, and it fit perfectly into a USPS priority mail envelope, flat rate envelope. And so I packaged it with bubble and then put it into the flat rate, which gets there the fastest normally. And so shipped it out. Pretty much she ordered one day and I shipped it the same day because she ordered it early in the morning. So she sends me an email saying, "Hello, friend. My tracking shows delivered, but there is no package. And which address did you send this USPS package to?" I said, "Well, I can't really tell you. Obviously, I'm not going to, hand out her, because it could be a scam." So I said, "Let me check." And I'm going into tracking. And lo and behold, she lives in Georgia, but the package showed delivered in Michigan. I'm like, what the heck? So I'm going into, I'm reading the tracking a little bit more. And everything was fine, reception scan, everything went to Philadelphia, distribution, and everything tracked normal. There was no indication of any package, or that I saw, that it was going up to Michigan. So first I'm like, well, maybe I switched the labels. I'm going in, but I have this new technique that I'm using is when I'm printing out a label or when I'm putting in the info for the label, I'm always writing the first name of the person who ordered. And there were not two people with the same first name that day. So and then I'm downloading the label, I'm printing it out. No, it shows the correct address. It shows, Georgia. So I text her, I said, I see what you're saying. Let me run to the post office here, and because I know they can look into the system a little bit deeper than we can. So I'm going to the post office. Of course, the postmaster is not in that day. So I'm talking to a regular employee, and he looks it up, and he's like, yeah, really weird, but it does show, it arrived at the Atlanta distribution center, and apparently it's still on its way, but the other one was delivered. And I said, well, there are scams going on where people use tracking. And he's like, I don't know, I guess give it another day or come back later and she can look into the system a little bit more when, the postmaster. So I'm like, all right. So update the lady. I said, I'm going back. And she's like, well, I don't want to scam you or anything. I just would like my package. And I said, I told her, just give it another day and see what happens. And she was really nice about it, I have to say. Because other people would have, already opened cases and I don't know what. So in the afternoon, I'm going to the post office again. And she's like, yeah, I don't understand this. I've never seen this before. And she's like, well, you might want to consider calling customer service. But she's like, well, then she saw that the label says something like eco, whatever that provider that pirate ship uses. She's like, well, you should probably not buy the labels, from these private vendors. You should probably purchase them through the post office. I'm like, yeah, okay, ha ha ha. I'm like, yeah, right. Pay like 30% more or what? No way. So I'm like, all right. I'm putting in a phone call to United States Postal Service customer service, and the lady on the phone was super nice. And she said, it could be sometimes we've been having problems with faulty scanners, that they scan a package and then record a totally different number. Some sort of glitch. I'm like, okay. She's like, said the same thing. Give it another day, see what happens. So next day comes around. And also I'm going to the website and I'm putting in the information. What is it called? I sign up for the text messages that whenever a package moves, then you get an alert. So the next day around noon, the buyer messages and says, oh, thank you, I got the package and great, and it shipped so fast, and I said, oh, I'm sorry, all this happened. And so so she actually already went and left me really nice positive feedback. And then so I thought it was all over, but then lo and behold, maybe half a day later, I got a text message showing delivered. And now this is the best. It didn't show delivered in Georgia. No. It shows delivered in Indiana. I'm like, what the heck? But anyhow, so she was happy, I'm happy, case closed. I thought this USPS priority mail, I'm like, okay, it's a fluke. Next day, I got another message. Oh, now what did she order? I can't remember. Let me pause this real quick. I have to refresh my memory. We continue. I refresh my memory. So, this case, the lady again messaged different buyer that she received a reception scan that it was delivered, but nothing is at her mailbox. And so I checked again the tracking. This one did show delivered in the same town, but she just didn't get it. So I said, are you sure nobody else picked up the mail? She's like, no, I'm by myself. I said, well, I'm really sorry, but I advise you, go down to your local post office, talk to the postmaster and tell them what happened, because they can look into the system and they can pull up, images while the package went through the system. They take pictures, and I described to her how the package is supposed to look like. Obviously, it was a large package. It was a Tupperware marinating container, and it was bright orange color, so it was definitely hard to overlook. So and that also went priority mail in a big box. And so she went down to the post office, and then she texted later that she got it. What happened was she went to the post office. Postmaster she told them the story. They tracked down the package, and then she went out and continued doing her errands. And when she was home, the postmaster had actually personally delivered the package to her door. So that was more of a case of somebody delivering to the wrong location, I suppose. But yeah, what's the chance of that? And the funny thing is, I usually only now ship USPS Advantage. I don't really ship anymore priority. My rule of thumb is, if the priority mail price is $1 or less more than the USPS Advantage, then I am going to use priority because I like the free shipping supplies. So that covers my shipping supplies. And then I go with that. So I have not even shipped with priority mail in a long time. The only time I really ship regularly with priority is when I sell something on Poshmark. But so in these two instances, I actually used priority, and it was such a mess up. No, it worked all out good, and the buyers were patient and understanding. But it's so funny, like whenever something like this happened, the first contact is always the seller. Did you ship the right package? Did you mess up the label? Did you do this? Did you do that? I'm like, go down to the post office. I mean, you see my feedback. I mean, yeah, everybody makes mistakes, but anyhow. So what else happened? Oh yeah, this morning somebody requested a return, which is fine. I don't have problems with returns. It's part of business. And she said that she thought it was a sewing pattern, and she thought it was uncut, but it turned out to be cut. She was really, so if that's the case, I am obviously going to refund not just the cost of the goods, but I'm going to refund even the shipping. I mean, if I'm that stupid to mess this up, not stupid, but could be that, I check the patterns, but maybe it was folded so neatly and back and whatever that I just didn't notice that it was cut. Who knows? So, yeah, I'm definitely, so I'm going to wait. eBay automatically approves it. I love that program, by the way. And she was like super nice about it, because she could have, opened up a INAD return, but she said ordered by mistake. And yeah, I'm definitely happy she did that. So I'm not going to punish the buyer for that. Sometimes buyers will make like some funky returns, weird stuff. Yeah, since we're talking about shipping, for a while I did try out the free shipping program. Free shipping and free returns. So I tested that for a while. I put 50 items, easy to ship and, easy items, into that program or that test group that I defined. And lo and behold, I sold one item. It was a t-shirt, and it was already ultra cheap. I mean, I just wanted to get rid of it. So I'm glad it sold. And so I'm washing it always, especially if something sits on a shelf for a year or something, then I'm going to rewash, because nobody wants to, receive stale clothes. So I shipped that out, and then a day or so later, I received a return request for, I just didn't like it. I'm like, you didn't like it? I'm like, all right, fine. It was automatically approved, and I was not upset, but again, it was part of the test group. But so that really, needless to say, that concluded my test of free shipping and free returns. Never again. You want free shipping, free return? Go shop on Amazon. You're not going to be shopping with me. That is such a bad deal for sellers. Puts all the responsibility on the seller. I mean, I don't, again, I appreciate when I shop at Walmart, Target, wherever I shop, I like to have return items. I rarely return, but I do occasionally return, and that's fine. And that's how I look at it. That's why I'm okay with returns. But the free shipping and the free return, that's a little bit much. So, all right. I guess I talked enough. I'm going to keep walking and finish my walks. I'm going to, that's my thing that I like to do, 5,000 steps a day. And, yeah, they found out. I'm just rambling. Anyhow, doesn't matter. Hope you're having a great day. Bye. See you later.